In the Pewaukee School District, we're very fortunate to have access to a lot of different technologies at the classroom level. And we really focus on the teaching learning aspect, not the stuff aspect. So we really say it's not about the stuff, it's about the teaching and learning. So students have access to technology throughout the day to support their learning environment. In grades 5 through 12, our students are fortunate enough to have one laptop per one student, so that we have a one-to-one teaching and learning initiative. Those students have access to their own laptop all day, every day. In grades 7 through 12, they can take that laptop home to support their learning outside of the school environment. In grades kindergarten through 4th grade, we're fortunate enough to have a 2-to-1 access. So students have access to the technology in the classroom to support their learning. It really, as I mentioned, is about focusing on the teaching and learning so that students have, through that technology, have access to resources, to information throughout the day, anytime, anywhere access to support their learning.
I think technology helps kids understand how to write more, and it just goes a lot faster for you, and you have to go and ask the teacher if you can't spell something right, and if that red line comes under in the computer, it helps you understand it. So you go to the tools and you hit spelling, and it'll show you how to spell it, and it'll help you learn how to spell it.
Oh, definitely, it makes it easier. I can email my teachers on the weekends, and if they have time to on the weekends email me back if I'm studying for a test. I can go outside and check outside sources on the laptop given to me by the school, like particularly YouTube or online tutors, and if my teacher isn't available to help me at that time, I can find outside sources to help me.
Technology really represents a variety of tools that offer equitable access for kids, and it's really about kids being able to dig deeper into their understanding of academic standards. And what technology does is it opens up the door so that teachers can really customize it based on where they're at. So it's no longer a one-size-fits-all model, but it really offers opportunities that kids can be still authentically engaged, working at their own pace, and really having voice and choice in their learning.
The students, I believe, have progressed well with the technology, and it's a motivating piece for them. I also think it's just an opportunity that maybe some of the students still don't have at home, and that in itself is motivating for some of those students that get that opportunity here at school.
The 21st century technology has been really beneficial and really helpful in bettering my knowledge within school, because there's so much more applications and technologies within the computer that we're all allowed to view and work with. Instead of just having a book, you have so many different ways to explore what you're learning. So I think it's really beneficial, and it helps me as a student because I have so many more outlets to look in.
The idea is to help teachers to learn how to use technology, then to further engage their students in learning, and how can they use the technology that we have to provide more engaging lessons, to provide choice for students in how they learn and how they demonstrate their learning.
I've found that just putting a laptop in front of a kid and saying, do this simulation, do this tutorial, write this paragraph, isn't necessarily enough guideline and structure that high school students need. So in my blended classroom, I oftentimes give them freedom within certain parameters, and so if they're using their laptop, there's a structured list of tasks that need to get done by a certain time. So it's not just open-ended, here it is, here's the technology. It's one, making sure they know how to use it appropriately, but then two, providing that freedom within those fence posts to make sure that the technology is used to enhance learning, rather than just giving it to them and using it just for the sake of using it.
It's not about the tool itself, it's about how we can best meet students' needs in real time, and it's not a one-size-fits-all technology tool.
I do think technology helps my children be more independent as learners. I think it motivates them to find out things that they might be curious about, and they know that they can go access that online in the world's largest library. They don't have to wait for mom and dad to have time to take them somewhere to get that information.
I got a laptop when I was an 8th grader, and before I could drive, it'd be really hard to meet up with my group mates and like find time outside of school. So what Google has allowed me and my group mates to do is to like collaborate online in an online setting so that we could get our work done outside of the classroom but still like be working on our homework for the classroom.
My daughter is very interested in writing, and she came home the other night and just sat down for 3 hours on Google Docs writing a story. And that's something that she wanted to do and wanted to be able to share with other people.
I think it's really important to have my laptop because it makes our learning a little more independent. And in math, I like to have it because we do this thing, it's called Mathia. And it's a website where we can learn at our own pace. And so you go through a bunch of units and sections, and then you learn about just all sorts of different things in math.
There are a lot of different tools that the students use to dig deeper and to really collaborate with their peers.
In my language arts class, we also use technology, and we're using a product called Goodreads right now, which is really beneficial to all of our reading because our teachers ask us a question every beginning of class. When we start off with silent reading, so then we have a chance to kind of think about what that question is, and then we answer it on our Goodreads about our book, and everyone can see it, who's all of our friends. So it's kind of almost like a school-appropriate reading Facebook. And so we get to submit books to people. You know, if you see that they're reading The Fault in Our Stars, and you're reading a book right now that kind of relates to that, and you think that they'd really like that, you can go to their profile and say, hey, I think you'd like this book, and submit them a book. Or if maybe they're struggling and saying, I don't know the character, you know, I need help with some of the character analysis in this book. You can comment and help them, and you can like statuses. And it's really helpful because we're all a big community and we all help each other.
The way I like to use technology in the classroom is giving students choice and experimenting with a lot of different writing in different ways so that they can use technology to reach audiences in both local and global outlets. A lot of times what we're doing is we're having interactions within the classroom, but then this can take them back home and have a global audience that is something that they can do 24/7.
As we look to the future and really look at that vision for what we want for our students, it's really important that we're preparing our students to not only be college and career ready, but to really know how to communicate, collaborate, and create through their access to technology. Students today are participating in a very different digital and global society than we did when we left school. So it's very important that in the Pewaukee School District we continue to focus our efforts on preparing our students to be digital and global citizens.